Before I dive in, hey guys, don't forget to hit subscribe for more real, jaw-dropping stories like this. And share your thoughts in the comments. I want to know if anything like this has ever happened to you. I'll never forget the night of the office holiday party. The one where I thought everything was lighthearted and fun. But it turned into a lesson I'll carry forever. It started innocently. I walked into the hall, the smell of polished wood, spiced cider, and faint perfume mixing in the air. Music played softly, the chatter of coworkers wrapping up the year buzzing around me. And then I saw him, Tom. I knew him well. He was loud, cocky, always ready with a joke, and tonight he had chosen me as his target. "Hey, watch the fancy shoes, boss," he sneered, laughing a little too loudly as I tried to weave past a group near the buffet. The mocking tone, the smirk, I felt my face tighten, a mix of confusion and irritation washing over me. I glanced down at my heels, self-conscious, until the thought hit me. I'm not even his boss, am I? The thing is, for months, little things have been off. Calls I couldn't get to, vague texts from my wife I'd glance at and shrug off. Her phone would light up, and she'd step away quickly, laughing a bit too nervously when I asked what was so funny. I even caught her once deleting a text before I could see it. I tried to convince myself I was imagining things, that it was my paranoia, my stress. After all, work had been brutal lately. But tonight, I wasn't imagining anything. Tom leaned in, whispering something crude about her, assuming I wouldn't notice. The way he said it, the certainty in his tone, it made my stomach drop. And then, like a punch to the gut, I realized something. I was no longer just an observer. I was the one with the authority. My position had shifted quietly over the months. Promotions and structural changes. And somehow he hadn't noticed. The revelation struck me like lightning. He mocked me without knowing who I really was. And that wasn't the worst part. I excused myself to the balcony, the cold winter air biting my cheeks. I pulled out her phone, something I'd sworn I'd never do, but a gnawing suspicion had won. There, in her messages, were snippets that made my heart seize. Flirtatious exchanges with Tom, inside jokes I had never been part of, hints of late-night meetups disguised as work events. My pulse raced, my hands shook. I remembered the small moments that now felt like lies. The way she claimed to be stuck in meetings, the excuses for missed dinners, the hushed laughter over her phone that I had chalked up to work stress. Everything had been a facade. I confronted her quietly when I got home, words barely a whisper at first. "Why, Sarah? Why him?" Her face crumpled, eyes wide, guilty. She tried to explain how she felt invisible, how she didn't mean for it to go this far. But her words sounded hollow against the weight of months of betrayal. I wanted to scream, to demand 1,000 answers, but all I could do was breathe, trying to reconcile the love I had once felt with the pain now burning through me. The next day, I called Tom into my office. The same mocking grin, the same arrogance. But this time, I had power, authority, and evidence. I laid it out calmly, emails, messages, his own words. His smirk faltered. Confusion turned to fear, then embarrassment, as he realized the man he belittled all night was the one who could ruin him professionally. There was no shouting, no dramatic revenge, just a quiet, undeniable shift of power. The realization in his eyes mirrored the betrayal I had carried silently for weeks. And in that moment, I understood something essential. Justice doesn't always need fireworks. It often comes quietly in the form of truth. As for her, our marriage didn't survive. We had loved each other once, but trust had eroded under the weight of secrecy. The breakup was painful, raw, but necessary. I learned that love isn't just about passion. It's about respect, honesty, and knowing that some walls, once broken, can't be repaired. Now, when I think of that party, I remember more than humiliation or betrayal. I remember the cold clarity of truth, the way it can cut through illusions and force you to see people as they really are. I remember finding my own strength in silence, in self-respect, and in realizing that sometimes the most powerful victories aren't loud. They're quiet, personal, and lasting. So, if you've ever felt mocked, betrayed, or underestimated, know this. The world has a way of balancing itself. And sometimes, the ones who laugh last really do. Don't forget to subscribe for more stories like this. And share your thoughts in the comments. I'd love to hear if anyone has ever faced a betrayal like mine, and how you found your strength after it.